About the proposal! Don't be so surprised that I was going to propose to Regina. I even had something to give to her. I kept it in my pocket, waiting for the chance to propose and give it to her. Of course, I also had it in my pocket that night. It was a present for her. In the end, I wasn't able to give it to her, so I've still got it in my pocket. No, you don't. No, you don't. You were going to propose? You, a puppet? Don't be so obtuse. Just because I'm a puppet doesn't mean I can't love. I guess you're right. Just because I'm old doesn't mean I couldn't propose to her too. Exactly. Wait. Wait, his honor is looking a little less than honorable right now. Okay, Mr. Wright, please continue with your cross-examination. Sigh. What was with that sigh at the end? About the proposal. Don't be so surprised that I was going to propose to Regina. By proposal, you mean proposing marriage, correct? To Regina. Of course that's what I meant. What kind of stupid question is that? I wasn't going to propose that we become sort of outlaw biker gang together. Why not? Right then. Yeah. Got it? That's the truth. I even had something to give to her. What was it exactly that you planned on giving her? You know exactly what I was going to give her, numbskull. The only thing I could find that could match Regina's beauty. Answer his question, what was it? You're gonna die when you hear this. It's an engagement ring! Engagement ring? Wow, those two nearly fell out of the chairs. Mr. Phoenix Wright's joke has gone too far. Time for this to end right here. Francisca's whip looks like it's about to lash out at almost anything. One hit from that thing will probably shut someone up for a long time. Push on anyway! It may be something of a joke, but this is a historic moment. The first time that a puppet has ever proposed to a... I advise you to cut this argument short. I'm going to have to agree with the defense here. Would the witness please revise their testimony? Specifically about the engagement ring, I'd like to stick to facts, not sociology. You sure do enjoy sweating the details, especially for a man in a black bathrobe. I planned on giving an engagement ring to Regina. An engagement ring? Aha, it's actually a diamond-shaped stone cut from glass. It's a glass ring. Even more brilliant than the real thing. I think Regina's going to love it. It's just a ring. What's the matter, Nick? Well, there's got to be something I can catch him on. I kept it in my pocket waiting for the chance to propose and give it to her. Whose pocket was the ring in? Mine, of course. What a stupid question. You've got to be kidding me. You think Ben could pull that off? I'm sorry. Really. You have pockets, Ben. The puppet doesn't have pockets. You don't have to apologize for that. He's the one who should be apologizing. Really? Of course I also had it in my pocket that night. It was a present for her. So you went to the lodging house to give it to her? That's right. I tried to give it to her during practice so many times that I lost count, but that uppity snot kept getting in the way. Uppity snot? He couldn't possibly be talking about me, Maximilian Galactica. When I get a hold of him, I'm gonna saw his wood block in half, and not with magic. Well, they always say that love creates rivalries. So what about this present? In the end, I wasn't able to give it to her, so I've still got it in my pocket. So you're still thinking of trying to give it to Regina? Of course I am! I spent 3 months' salary on that thing. I'm not gonna give up that easily. It's a glass ring. I wonder how much he receives for appearing in the circus. Probably way more than he deserves. How about it, Nick? I think it's about time to unwrap this toy's testimony. That's the spirit, Nick. Give him heck. The judge has that dazed and confused look again. Maybe he should get out more. I guess I show him the ring here, right? I missed it. Present! Ring! Trilo, do you mind if I show you something? What is it? What are you talking about? Uh-oh. Looks like they're going to double team me now. Do you recognize this ring? Ah! That's mine! Give it back, thief! Didn't you just testify about this very object? I believe you said. In the end, I wasn't able to give it to her, so I still got it in my pocket. Why then do I have it right here? Ah! What's going on here? That's... Ben, say something! Hey, don't put me on the spot like that, Trilo. I found this in Bunny's room. Money's room? You mean a room they put money? Like a bank vault? Ah, that filthy monkey is gonna get what's coming to him. Mr. Quist, I would prefer if you avoid slandering innocent fiats in my court. Well, Your Honor, Money really is a monkey. In every sense of the word. Ah, I see. Well then. Money likes to go after the shiniest things that he can find and gather them up. Shiny things. Trilo! When was this ring stolen from you? Well, I suppose it was that time, you know, that night of the crime. What did you just say? Details, I need more details! Well, it was stolen right after Max showed up in the plaza. Right about when you saw the defendant walk past, correct? Well, I guess you might, be able to say that. The ring might have, well, it could have been taken around that time. Ah, yeah! That monkey needs to be locked up. Ben, what's with you? Oh, whatever. It has nothing to do with anything, especially not who committed the murder. It's not for you to decide what has to do with what. Now, Trilo, back to the topic at hand. I haven't admitted a thing, not I, Mr. Triloquist. What did you do when the ring was taken, Trilo? You know exactly what I did. I chased after that ring, snatching monkey money. But you weren't able to catch up with him, were you? It's all this slow, loafy fool called Ben's fault. While he was fumbling his way through the snow, that dumb monkey was able to get away. That is indeed an incredible shame. Well, this does indeed prove one very important point. Prove an important point? What point could that possibly be? Ben's exercising. Ben's testimony has a flaw! There is a huge contradiction in this witness's testimony. Contradiction? The witness just testified to the following effect. Up until the police arrived, he didn't move from the entrance to the plaza. However, the witness just stated that he chased after Money the monkey. When the witness was off chasing Money, there was no one watching the plaza. What is the meaning of all this, Mr. Phoenix Wright? Where are you going with this little theory of yours? I'm saying there is no possible way that this witness saw the plaza the entire time. That's where I'm going with this little theory, which leads to my next point. It is entirely possible that someone other than the defendant was at the scene. Interesting, Mr. Well then, tell me this, Mr. Phoenix Wright. Do you have any proof that something slipped past this vigilant ventriloquist? Well, he obviously didn't see the victim, the ringmaster, arrive on the scene. However, that doesn't change the fact that he saw the defendant arrived. The witness is lying, he's blinded by his rivalry with Max. Well, the defense's argument does hold water, does it? No, it doesn't. No, but who else? This witness does have a history of animosity towards the defendant. What? How dare you? I wouldn't lie just to get that dog face in trouble, he's not even worth it. I saw him, no doubt about it. I saw that worthless liar. Well, just for clarity's sake, let's flesh out exactly who you saw on that night. Ha! I've told you so many times, you'd think you know my story's not changing. You've already changed your story, stick boy, and I'm sure you'll change some more. Where there's one lie, there's usually many more behind it. Exactly, Maya. That's why we have to keep after him. Yeah! Oh, here we go again. I'll give you what I was waiting for. Wait, I'll give you what I was waiting that night for, Regina. Wait, I'll give you what? I'll give you that I was waiting that night for Regina. But that doesn't change the fact that I saw Max in the plaza that night. He showed up after I had been waiting there for about 5 minutes. I said good evening to him, but he didn't even acknowledge my presence. I'm absolutely it was him I saw Maximilian Galactica at the scene. There's no way I could mistake someone wearing those 3 ridiculous symbols. I mean, that was always weird from the start. He's just wearing the outfit, doesn't mean it's him, right? So that means that Money didn't show up until after you saw Max. That's right, Money ran up less than a minute after I saw Max. Then Money snatched the ring and you went chasing after him. Wait a minute. Who's Acro? A monkey who takes care of Acro? We've never seen Acro. It's probably Acro. Then Money snatched the ring and you went chasing after him. How long was it until you came back to where you were waiting? Well, let's see. I'd say about... I suppose 5 minutes, I think. So the victim could have arrived on the scene in that 5-minute stretch. Mr. Wright, please proceed with your cross-examination. I'll give you that I was waiting that night for Regina. So you were only concerned with waiting for Regina that night. That means you probably wouldn't have noticed if someone else showed up. You should think about how many eyes I actually have. I've got 4, you know. 4! Counting Ben's, of course. You can't, that's not how that works. With that many eyes, do you really think something would have slipped by me? 4 eyes is an awful lot of attention directed at one area, I suppose. That's not... Yikes, the judge is even more dangerous to our case than Trilo. But that doesn't change the fact that I saw Max in the plaza that night. So you saw Max coming out of the big top that night. Of course that's where I saw him coming from. I was staring at the entrance to the tent the entire time. I guess that makes sense, especially since he was waiting for Regina. He showed up after I had been waiting there for about 5 minutes. About what time would you say these events took place? You're one of the dumbest people on the planet if you can't figure it out yourself. You already know that practice finished promptly at 10 PM. And you already know that I went to the lodging house right after practice. You don't need to be a brain surgeon to know around what time it was when I saw him. Just add 10 more minutes, I'm sure you can do that. Now what time was it? Indeed, what time was it? And what time was it? Let me think about that for a second. Ah! It was 10:10 PM. Ah, yes, that sounds about right. 10:10 PM. 10:15 PM. He died. It sounds about right because that's the time I saw Max on the scene. I said good evening to him, but he didn't even acknowledge my presence. So you testified that you said good evening to Max that night. You must enjoy asking incredibly obvious questions. You say good morning in the morning and good afternoon during the day, right? And it's obvious that I'd say good night to someone at night. What then? You've got something to add? Let me guess. That's not it, Trilo. You say good evening at night. I'm sorry, Trilo. Mr. Quist, I would prefer if you kept your ventriloquist act outside of the courtroom. Impossible! A performer lives and breathes his performance, you should know better. There's got to be something wrong with this piece of testimony. Nothing especially. Trilo's evening greeting. Ben's half of the comedy act. No, Ben was gonna say something. I want to save here. I hate to say it, but Ben's part of your little act is coming off a bit stale. I'm sure that if a pro was to review your work... You're not trying to pass yourself off as a professional performer, are you? Don't get so wrapped up in yourself, Mr. Phoenix Wright. You should know better. That should have set him straight. You may proceed with the testimony, witness. I'm absolutely sure it was him. I saw Maximilian Galactica at the scene. I wanna like... Good evening to Max, that's not even so. Say good morning, good afternoon, good night to someone at night. What? Trilo's evening greeting. Isn't that a bit strange to you? What do you mean? Well, if you hate Max so much, why would you bother being nice to him? It strikes me as somewhat strange. Why would it strike you as strange? Exactly. How is it strange to be cordial to one of your co-workers? Well, if it was simply just being cordial to a co-worker, I would understand. Ah! Maybe you should think of having some proof before your lips start flapping next time. Proof is everything in this world. You should have learned that back in grade school. I mean, it's apparently it's not everything in this world because there's so much fake news now. People just believe the stuff they see on the internet without question. There's no reason that Trilo would ever say something nice to Max. But how do I go about proving that with the evidence? Bluffing is everything in this world, but I'm sure you already learned that one. Yeah, exactly, bluffing. I guess I can give it a shot. The witness will resume his testimony. I'm absolutely sure it was him. I saw Maximum Galactica at the scene. Why would he not greet? You are 100% absolutely sure of what you just said. I told you already, geez, I'm 100% absolutely sure. There's no way that he could be any more confident than that, right? There is no way I could mistake someone wearing those three ridiculous symbols. Those three ridiculous symbols, huh? Out of curiosity, exactly how many times have you asked that question by now? If you're gonna ask again, I'll answer with the chorus. Everyone together now. So Cat, Cloak, White Roses. Thank you very much. Maya, you didn't have to join in, did you? But it's fun shouting out with everyone else. There has to be a hole in his testimony somewhere. I agree, but do we have to prove to make something stick? All we can do is try, right, Nick? We've got to have something that will prove useful. Alright, time to go to work. I'm not sure what the game wants me to present or wear. Oh, he was cracked on the head. Yeah, he was just cracked on the head. Alright, let me... I said good evening to him. I'm gonna present the bottle. Here, let's see what happens. Trilo, is it not true that you had a fight with Max on the day of the murder? A fight? A fight over Regina, to be exact. It wasn't that big of a deal, it was just an argument, a disagreement at most. A disagreement usually doesn't end with someone getting clonked over the head. Ah! That morning, Ben got clobbered over the head by Max, didn't he? What? Is that an admission of assault and battery? Ah! Before we handle that, we should wrap up the defendant's murder charge first. The truth is that on the day of the crime, the defendant and witness had a huge fight. There is absolutely no way they would have suddenly become cordial that evening. Moreover, just consider the personality of the witness on stand. There's no way a puppet this lewd would just give up and say good evening to his rival. Lewd. Ah! Are you saying this witness is lying? He's not really a puppet. Of course he's lying. He's a ventriloquist pretending to be a puppet. It's all an act. It's a circus, Von Karma. You are in a circus. That he is trying to frame the defendant by claiming to have seen him at the crime scene. I didn't tell a single lie, honestly, I just... That's enough from you, Mr. Quist, Mr. Wright. Yes, Your Honor. Let's clarify this testimony for the court. Could you explain your theory about who the witness actually saw that night? He saw a different person. It's my belief that the witness did indeed see someone that night. It was just someone else. That's who he said good evening to. What kind of theory is that? The correct one. Furthermore, I don't believe the person the witness saw was Max at all. Nani? If he had truly met Max that night, there would have been no greeting at all. Which means there's only one proper answer. The person the witness saw that night was not Maximilian Galactica. That is why Trilo made the effort to greet whoever it was he saw that evening. Or good evening, as he put it. What in the world? You! Would the defense kindly explain who it was Trilo saw that evening, then? Russell Berry? Considering the ill temper of the witness, there's only one person he would greet. It must be Regina. It's Regina, right? She's so cute. No, Your Honor, it's not Regina. If it was Regina, Trilo would have given her the engagement ring as a present. Oh, yeah. I suppose you've got a point there. It was Russell Berry, the victim himself, was it not? You are correct, it was indeed Russell Berry. The person you saw that evening was the victim, the ringmaster Russell Berry. That's why you greeted him, Trilo, isn't that correct? Go. Answer the question, Mr. Quist. Ah! Order, how do you respond to this? Wait a second. Well, at first I thought it was the old man. But once I got a better look at him, it was obviously Maximilian Galactica. I think it is high time that we clear the air about this question. Mr. Quist obviously witnessed a single person in the area of the plaza that evening. The problem is identifying exactly who that person was. Was it Maximilian Galactica or was it the ringmaster, one Mr. Russell Berry? The prosecution argues that it was the defendant that the witness saw that night. The witness has clearly stated that he saw the defendant's 3 symbols. It's because it's Russell wearing the outfit. Why is everyone so goddamn stupid? 3 symbols. Alright, this is getting old. Come on, man. You've got to remember them by now. Here we go again, everyone. All together now. Ah! Yes, yes, we know. The silk hat, cloak, and white roses. A silk hat and a cloak. Anyone could wear them. They'd even look good on me. What was that? Well, the witness has endlessly repeated that he saw Max's 3 symbols. However, how do we really know it was Maximilian Galactica? It could have been someone else dressed up as him. Possibly even Russell Berry. Nani? Miss Von Karma. Do you have clear evidence that the person the witness saw was the defendant? Well, if that's the case, then it is impossible for me to make a judgment at this point. Yes, I think we finally won a point on this one. That is very unfortunate. Huh? You're just a little too excited for your own good, Mr. Phoenix Wright. What do you mean by that? You merely established one thing from this witness. You established that this witness saw one person in the plaza that night. I applaud you on your effort, but... Who that person was can only be answered by the next witness! Huh? Your Honor, the prosecution will provide beyond a shadow of a doubt an answer to that question, and evidence that clearly establishes one thing. That there is no one other than Maximilian Galactica responsible for this crime. Well, go on then, call your next witness. Very well. The court will take a 10-minute recess. During that time, I request the prosecution prepare their next witness. Court is now in recess. Okay. Alright, we dealt with one witness. There will be others.